Now to the most important stuff. I have a rum here, and it's a very, very special rum, I think. It looks like this. So it's from a small Danish distillery called Get Spirits. It's Dunkeren here. Hello, rum lovers. So today I have a really special treat. I know I say it a lot that it's special and I'm excited about it, but that's just because I am excited about these things. First off, this video is sponsored, so there's sponsored content in this video. But as always, everything on this channel is just my opinion. And as you know, I will not be influenced by the fact that it's sponsored. So my review and my opinions are still just mine. And I will be honest. So yeah, there you have it. Also an apology because of the lack of videos the last month. I have been doing some videos, but not as much as I usually do. And I want to apologize for that. This next time coming, there will also be less videos than normal, just because of music festival season and the summer holidays. So yeah, just get that out of the way there too also. And now to the most important stuff. I have a rum here, and it's a very, very special rum, I think. It looks like this. So it's from a small Danish distillery called Get Spirits. It's located in Roskilde, which is a pretty big city in the center, or just about in the center of Sjælland. And this distillery makes gin and Danish schnapps and also rum. It's a married couple who started this distillery not too long ago, only a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And they make these beautiful rums. It's handmade. Everything is handmade. And this particular rum is not artificially colored. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the box, and I want to talk a little bit about the bottle. The cardboard box, honestly, could have been made a little cooler. Yeah, that's just my opinion. The bottle, on the other hand, is very nice, and just a cool, dark, little, kind of fat, thick bottle, which is very nice. And I like the label. It's simple, it's clean, and on the back there's handwritten kind of info about this particular bottle. And let me just read what it says. It says, distilled in March 2018 and bottled in May 2019. So this was bottled last month. It has been aged in 50-liter casks. And this one is bottle 47 out of 75. So only 75 bottles of this exact one. And this is number 47. This is batch 2. So there's actually a batch 1, which wasn't any bigger, around the same size. And this says single cask. Yes, of course it's single cask. And there's no added sugar. I guess when they say that there's no added sugar, that means that it's not artificially colored with that E150 caramel. I think that's what it means. And so it has aged for 14 months in first filled whiskey casks. And this is a pretty heavily peated whiskey. So, and that's why they call this the Peated Whisky Casks, selected cask series. So this is really, really nice. And the sponsored part in this is that they actually gave me this to make a video here, so that's what I'm doing now, and I'm very happy about getting this bottle, and very happy about them reaching out and actually wanting to give me this so that I can make a video for them, and so really appreciate that and thank you. But I also want to give kind of a shout out to Beard Pilot. He is pretty much becoming a friend to me. His name is Salim, and he's the guy who actually kind of made this happen, because he made kind of the connection between Get Spirits and me, and so just really do appreciate this. This is a very special bottle, so I was actually kind of sad to open it, because this is something, when it's this special, batch 2 bottle number 47 out of not very few, it should be savored and appreciated, and of course it should be sipped at some point, but it should really be saved for something really special. So Salem, the guy from Beard Pilot, actually had a sample from batch number 1, and I've already put this in my glass. So I have a little sample from batch number 1. The only difference, as I know, from batch number 1 and batch number 2 is that batch number 1 is batch number 2 is 57.7% alcohol. So it's very strong, very high up there on the ABV. And batch number 1 was 58.4, I think it was, something like that. So that's the only difference. 2 different casks, of course, but it's the same whiskey, peated whiskey, that was in both casks. So yeah, the price on this is 550 Danish kroner for half a liter. That translates into around 55 euros or pounds, and maybe 60 or 65 American dollars. Something like that, give or take. Yeah, I think that was all. I forgot my notes somewhere, and I don't want to stand up in the middle of the video and find them. So I think I got it all I wanted to say. Now for the most important thing. One thing is that the cardboard box could have been done a little bit better. Another thing is that the bottle looks very good, and everything is it looks good, and it's handmade, and everything is done professionally, and so that's good. But the most important stuff is, of course, the actual rum. So now let's go over to the nosing and the tasting. I have a little bit of water here. This is around 2 centiliters, 1.5 centiliters. So I have just below half a centiliter water here, just to make, but I want to nose it and have a little sip before I put water in it. First off, you get sweetness, you get honey, and you get all of those things you would from a rum. There's fruitiness, sweetness, as I said, also vanilla. And for 58.4, which the sample was, it's very smooth. It's very it's not sharp. There's almost no sharpness at all. Now there's a little bit of sharpness, but nothing when you think about how high the ABV is. There's little hints of in the back, just when you know the nose, just before it goes down to your throat, right there, there's a little hint of whiskey and a little hint of smoke. Now that I've noticed the smoke, there's actually a lot more smoke in the nose and less sweetness, but there's still that rum sweetness, rum honey, rum vanilla, rum fruitiness. I can't, maybe I was just about to say that I couldn't distinguish what kind of fruits that I'm getting, but to me it's peaches and oranges. And then also that smoke. So now a little sip. Skål. The palate, there's a lot of dryness. And then so mouth-watering at the finish. And it's powerful, it's complex. And there's quite a bit of sharpness at the finish, but not the palate. This is my first sip. I didn't have a sip before the video. So of course it's going to be sharp because my mouth is not used to this. I just drank half a liter of water. So, and then this, of course, is going to shock the taste buds. Second nose is more sweetness. Well, second nose is actually the same as the first. So, but it's really interesting how dry it was at the palate, especially here, how mouth-watering the finish was at the tongue. So, second sip, of course, not as sharp as the first. Actually, only very, very little sharpness. So that's pretty amazing when you think about it. Then when it's this heavy on the ABV, I'm gonna just put a little water in it and just let it stand here for like a couple of seconds to marry the water with the rum. Whoa. It's when you drink this, it's a little bit confusing because there's so many things from the rum that kicks in, but then with the whiskey and peat influence, confusing is perhaps the wrong word. Maybe difficult and complex is a better way to put it. So, because it's not like a usual rum, and it's not a whiskey at all. There's just whiskey and peat notes in a rum. So, but now that the water has kind of settled in here, I've got to kind of talk about the legs, and there's heavy leg on this rum. Now there's a lot more sweetness, a lot more rounded nose to it, a lot more actually a little bit more fruit, also a little bit more vanilla, but the honey, you know, that smooth round honey feel to it is a lot more dominant. There's still hints of whiskey and there's still hints of peat, but there's actually also kind of a metallic hint, probably from the distill. And when it's not that old, it's only 14 months old. So of course it would make sense that there were hints of the still pots and stuff. And there actually is a little bit when you put the water in. So when you put the water in, the rum pot kind of gets more dominant, and the peated whiskey hints and notes gets a little bit in the background, and then that distill influence comes a little bit out. when you put the water in it and you taste it, it's so much better because the aromas and the flavors really get a chance to step out. And as I'm talking, the finish is still there, and warmth and a little bit of sharpness and a little bit of kick is coming out. And I feel like I have goosebumps on my back because of the warmth and the kick. And those are kind of things that I love when I drink rum. To kind of have, it's powerful, it's complex. There's no dryness now. And in the taste, there's actually no metallic taste, so you can't, or I can't taste the distill. So the palate after the water is fruit, rum flavors, fruit, still oranges and peaches, vanilla, sweetness, a lot of honey sweetness, maybe even a little bit of fudge feel to it because it's that creamy, round note to it. So, and then the finish is, and that's the weird part, because when you nose it with the water, the whiskey and the peat notes step back, but at the finish after the water, they actually step forward and become dominant in the finish. So there's smoke, peaty smoke, and whiskey quite dominant in the finish and not as sharp as before. And then as you kind of enjoy the finish, the sharpness, the kick, only a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of kick, and a lot of warmth comes into it. And very, very, very good. I've tasted this before a couple of weeks ago at Salem's place, and I actually like it. We didn't put water in it then, and I actually like it a lot more now. And that water actually makes a world of difference. I'm not saying that it's not tasting good or it's a bad rum before the water at all, but that water makes a huge difference. So if you buy one of these bottles, definitely nose it and try it before the water. Put water in, only a little bit, just to bring it down to like 50% alcohol, something like that. It's a little bit different to hit that percentage when you start, but you should definitely try to get it down to like 50%, and then just let it mix and marry together, and then try it again, because it's like a whole another rum. Yeah, same as before. Sweetness, fruitiness, less peat, less whiskey, but a little bit metallic from the distill. Yeah, so that's my video about this beautiful rum from Get Spirits, selected cask series, peated whiskey. They also have a the same series but with port casks. I haven't tried that. I think I will though, because this is definitely, in my opinion, worth the money. 550 Danish crowns is for me a medium price. I buy cheaper, but I never go, almost never go above 1,000. Sometimes I go 1,500, but that's only very special ones. But other than that, I stay below 1,000 for a bottle. So 550 for me is like right in the middle. And yeah, but I'm gonna, where should I put this? It's very important to understand that when you buy this, you're not getting a sweet, easy to drink rum. There is sweetness, but it's not that's not what this is about. It's about the mixture of the peated whiskey and the sweetness from the rum. That's what this is about. And if you like both things, you're probably going to like this as well. You might like it, even though you usually don't like whiskey, you might still like it because the hint, it's not a whiskey taste, it's more like a whiskey hint, an oak hint. And the smoke, of course, there's a lot more smoke than actual oak and whiskey. So, but it's not, I really do like it. I actually really do like it. And that kick and warmth you get in the finish is really good. It would be amazing in a little flask when you're out hiking in the Alps or somewhere in the mountains, or at a skiing trip, or at a canoe trip on the water. It would be amazing for that because it has that warmth. So you keep warmth and you keep fresh and you keep... The more and more I talk about it, the more I like it. This rum is kind of a sweet rum, but with some other notes to it. There's a lot more complexity to this than there is to the plantation, and this one is a sweet rum as well, but this one has a lot more complexity to it. And you could kind of, not the flavors, not the taste, and not the nose, you couldn't compare, but you can compare the kind of structure of it with the sweetness and something else married into it. So this one is still my favorite out of all rums, but I really do like this. So I'm actually the more I talk about it, I'm thinking 9, but as you know, if you watch my videos, I usually turn it down a little bit when it's sponsored, just to make sure that I'm not getting there because of that. I think I will be putting it at an 8.5. So yeah, especially because of the after the water, how much better it gets, and how more complex it is, and because of that warmth and that little kick you get at the end. So Get Spirits Selected Cask Series Peated Whiskey is an 8.5 for me. So again, thank you to Get Spirits for giving me this bottle. And again, thank you to Beer Palate and Salem for making the contact between us. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. That's fine too. The most important thing to me is if you would leave a comment. I especially like when you ask questions about different things and when you come up with ideas for new videos. But whatever you comment down there, I will respond. So, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out. And I also have a YouTube or an Instagram account. It's called Dunkeren_, and there's a lot of pictures, a lot of small video clips about rum, whiskey, beer stuff, and also workout stuff. I work out a lot. So check that out, please, and give me a follow there if you like what you see. I think that was it for this video. And check out, I will be probably doing a beer video in the next week before Copenhagen. Copenhagen is Thursday, and I'm not going to be able to do any videos there. So probably a beer video before that, and then after Copenhagen, a couple of videos again. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.